Good morning, everybody. Well, this is a treat. Can you tell that I'm in my car? I'm not driving, though. Hey, I want to wish you all, every one of you, a happy Father's Day. And it's so good to see all of your faces here. What a beautiful day we have. And I'm with Michael up in Springfield, and we're going to go see his father shortly to celebrate Father's Day with him. So, peace and love and joy. Oh, and peace of mind to all of us. And, you know, my favorite song is, of course, a reminder to all of us. We are free. We are unlimited. There are no chains that bind us. We are free. We are unlimited. Right now, right now. Claim that. Claim it for yourself and for our world. So I'm going to leave you. I want to bring you a couple of announcements. And first and foremost, and most importantly, is Reverend Tom is officially an ordained Unity minister.
Woo!
And to Tom, and Tom, you got your mic off? Good. Congratulations, Tom. That was how many years of work, Tom? Are you able to take?
At least 5 years in the ministerial program, but I've been in Unity for 20 years.
Congratulations, Tom. You are a blessing and our church is blessed. So thank you, Reverend Unity, Reverend Tom Sylvester, who's going to be, I thought it was very appropriate for him to do the Father's Day talk today. So, oh, he's got his cup. Zoom that in there, Tom. Don't make me use my minister voice. All right, we'll do our best, Tom. Congratulations, Tom. And here's, I'm sure, the burning question on everybody's heart and mind is, when are we going to get back to church? Well, I still don't have a definite answer. I wish I did, but I don't, because numbers are increasing in Hamilton County right now. So, as I promised you, I'm not veering from that. We're going to continue to watch the numbers. But this week, we got a new toy. Well, let's put it this way. Adam got a new toy called an FM transmitter. That is the device that we need to play with and practice with to see if we can create drive-in / gazebo lawn church. That's going to be our next step into our soft opening to get back into the church. That means that you will be able to park. Now, this is our vision. We haven't played with it yet, but I want to update you. This is our vision that you can drive to the church. I don't know if I'm going to just try to turn this around. I don't know if you can see the parking lot at Michael's church. I'm not able to zoom in, but they are tuned in to an FM station, and most of them are running their air conditioning in their car because it's hot up here, and they're listening to their church service. Now, there are people sitting out in lawn chairs because there's speakers out on the lawn and people can just sit in their lawn chairs and listen to the service. This is an amazing venue that they've had going for now 2 months, and they're doing it very successfully. So that's where our hope is. And I've been watching the process, so I just want you to know we're going to get any of you who choose, you'll be able, hopefully in July sometime, you will be able to pull in the parking lot and listen in and see each other from your cars, or you can bring your camp chair and sit on the lawn, and I'll be up on a stage that we're going to build, and I'll be able to see all of you, whether you're in your parked car or your lawn chair, and we will have church together, and maybe afterwards we can all go get a funnel cake and have fellowship. But I also want to let you know that we have contracted Cintas, and they are already in the process of placing sanitation stations all over our building. And we are doing due diligence to make our building safe for when we're ready to come in together in the building. But also know, if you do not want to do this yet, if you are not ready to come in for whatever reason, it's okay, because we will continue Facebook Live coverage. Zoom's going to keep going until we successfully know that we're making this parking lot / gazebo outdoor church work. And when it does, then we will still continue Facebook Live. So you'll be able to still connect with us live from your comforts of your home, if that's the best way for you. So I want you to know that we're going to stay connected with all of you. And you are such a light in this world. And I really do wish each and every one of you a happy Father's Day. And I am sure we are ready. We are in for an amazing meditation and talk with our beloved Reverend Tom Sylvester. I love you all, and I'll be on next week with you again. Take it away, Tom.
Thank you, Rev Kathy. Thank you, everyone, for being here today, whether it be by Zoom, Facebook Live. I love the love streamers. Anyway, happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. Today, I want to congratulate all of the fathers, grandfathers, wannabe fathers, the grandfathers, and all of the sons, grandsons, daughters, and granddaughters of the fathers on this very special Father's Day 2020. Today, I'm blessed and honored to show my heartfelt appreciation for all the fathers who provide protection, blessing, love, and wisdom in each and every day of their life. They come in all forms, because not only are those fathers in our lives, but they're also the grandparents and single moms and the aunties and the uncles that take on a fatherly role. They can be teachers, mentors, they can be coaches, they can be brothers, they can be sisters, and they can be friends. So today we honor all of them. And I hope that you take some time today to let those fathers in your life and father figures know how blessed that you are for them. I want to let you know that I love to be a father. I love being a father in so many ways. I am a father to my 24-year-old daughter, Karina. Let me share with you a picture of her, if you can see that. Some say she's cuter than me. I'm a stepfather to Trina's son, Ryan. He's 33-year-old. Right? Picture of him as well. I am also a grandfather to our 18-month-old Rosalina. Isn't she a doll baby? Right? And I'm also, and have been for 38 years, a role model figure, father figure, to my brother Paul from the Big Brother, Little Brother program. And finally, I couldn't help but mention, of course, I'm a dad to Bailey, as many of you know. Anyway, this past Monday, as Reverend Kathy was referring to, I became an ordained Unity minister. And I truly do feel honored and humbled in becoming an ordained Unity minister. I feel grateful for everyone who has supported me on my long and winding journey. Now, I find it interesting that the root word of the word ordained is to concentrate and consecrate. Let me get that right, to consecrate. I need to concentrate on consecrate. And consecrate means to declare holy and declare as sacred. So I feel it's important for me to ordain these times we live in by declaring holy all of my feelings, in all of this human life. This human life is where the divine is made known. We can only experience the divine through our humanity. And the word holy is defined by the Webster Dictionary as spiritually whole or impaired innocence. And as the co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, wrote in Revealing Word, he defines holiness as wholeness in spirit, mind, and body. So in this state of consciousness, humankind is aware of the all-prevailing glory of God. For me, this is absolutely important, particularly in these days, to remind myself that there is the all-pervading glory of God in each and every situation, in each and every circumstance, and in each and every relationship. As Reverend Kathy knows, as being the senior minister, there's certainly no time for me to rest on my credentials. There's work to be done. There's work to be done because this world, and particularly this country, is in need. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she asked me, Tom, what's alive for you? What's in your heart? And I reflected on that for a moment and said, I feel intense pain in our world today, and especially in our communities of color throughout the United States and beyond. And I believe that our individual and collective hearts are breaking over the conflict, injustice, and needless loss of life. There's feelings of sadness, hurt, fear, anger, suffering. Those are just some of the prevalent feelings in my heart, given all that's going on. And as all of you know, these are unprecedented times. The coronavirus pandemic, the divisiveness like we've not seen in more than 50 years, the systemic racism being exposed, and people protesting in the streets. There is unprecedented suffering, 400 years of oppression, anger rightfully being expressed. And as you know, people are dying. And simultaneously, I am feeling all this existential trauma and angst while being grateful and fulfilled and imagining a new future. What a paradox. Call out the crazy of our life and the power of acknowledgement of the extremes unimaginable before I entered this ministerial program. So I take this time and I invite each and every one of us to take the time to imagine, how is our life enriched and more meaningful when we go deep into the experience of such darkness, go within, and also see the light. See the light of God in and all around us and in every one. And so what does it mean to navigate that landscape of opposites? What am I doing to make holy the moment, each and every moment of my life? Let me remind myself that holy implies reveals God. So I am to shine the light or elucidate God, if you will. My statement at my ordination was chosen from the Bible verse was, you are the light of the world. And I believe that this is most significant for me, and perhaps you as well, during these times. The one thing that I want you to take away from my whole talk today, if nothing else, is this. Awaken and experience a holy shift. Awaken and experience a holy shift. So let me break that down for all of us. First, what does that mean? Why is it important? And how do we apply it in our lives? So first off, what does it mean to awaken and experience a holy shift? Well, first, I believe it is to recognize those things that we may not have noticed before as significant. For example, I was watching a TV news broadcast, an interview the other day, and I saw a book on the bookcase written by Martin Luther King. I paused and realized and immediately thought that I'd like to read that book. And I also realized that I have read very few books by Black authors. What's key here is noticing, the becoming aware, so that I can make the change in my life. So the next day, I went to the library and picked up 2 books containing publications from various Black authors. This week, I read them both. Blessed Be the Peacemakers and American Spiritualities. And in both of these books is a very fascinating article or letter, actually, called The Letter from Birmingham Jail. Many of you may know of it or heard of it, written by Martin Luther King Jr. And Dr. King's writing moved me significantly. There's so much in it, but just let me share with you the closing sentence or sentences in his book. Let us all hope that the dark clouds of racial prejudice will soon pass away and the deep fog of misunderstanding will be lifted from our fear-drenched communities. And in some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation with all their scintillating beauty. Fabulous, powerful words. And I invite all of you to read that if you'd like. But for me, it was truly a moving moment to realize that of all the books I have, all the thousands of books I've had, it's not a judgment, it's the system in which I have been raised. But I now have become more aware, and I invite you to recognize those things that we may not have noticed before as significant. The second thing I believe in what it means to awaken and experience a holy shift, it means to recognize God's divine presence in ourselves, in all others, and to know that God is all there is. No one and nothing is outside of this infinite presence. As most of you know, Unity's first principle teaches us that there is only one power and one presence active in the universe, God the good. And yet I ask from time to time, how often do I remind myself that? And third and finally, with regard to what does it mean to awaken and experience a holy shift, I believe that it means to be an advocate for the well-being, the respect, and the civil freedom of every human being. Now, second, why is it important? Why is it important? Because who you are matters. Who you are truly matters to yourself and others. And change needs to happen. Systemic racism cannot continue in our institutions and in our systems. Secondly, because differences, I believe, can blind us to the unity that binds us. Let me say that again. I believe that differences can blind us to the unity that binds us. We have far more in common than that which divides us. Individual though we may appear, in truth, we are one. And finally, why? because it's crucial to add to the collective consciousness for positive evolution and harmonious existence for all. This is difficult. It's a huge challenge and cannot be done solely by one person alone. We contribute. We are the light. And then we shine our light to others, and they then shine their lights, and it begins to grow to a tipping point. And finally, how do we awaken and experience a holy shift? How do we do it? Well, first and foremost, I believe that we live from a conscious awareness that every human being is a divine creation, born with inherent good. And we live the truth that every person has sacred worth. What a great reminder for me. How quick I am to judge. How quick my ego shows. And yet I know how much suffering that causes me and others. And secondly, we do this, I believe, by applying the fifth principle of unity, which guides us beyond a simple understanding of spiritual teachings. As most of you know, we are to apply the truth and live the truth we know. We must put our prayers into action. We become consciously aware and accept the world that works for all. Unity's fifth principle embraces this way of living. And finally, I'm reminded of the very powerful words from the Dalai Lama 14. We forever remember these words. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. So in closing, I've come to realize that we cannot always choose whether we have pain, but we can choose whether our suffering will have been in vain. I personally believe, and I trust that many of you do as well, that we need profound change that preserves and protects the human rights of every individual in this congregation and in this country and in this world. I think the traditional father model and all of those fatherly roles express that way of being in healthy ways of supporting, providing safety, nurturing, protecting. And I think it is without a doubt, now is the time for the awakening of that sacred masculine, as would be called, to show up not as ego, but as our essence. So let us choose unity. Let us choose unity and let us live in harmony with the divine spirit so that we all live in a spiritually awakened world that is consciously evolving. And so I invite you to join me and awaken and experience a holy shift. Namaste. Christ in me sees and honors Christ in each and every one of you. I take a moment now just to breathe in deeply and just see the beautiful faces, the faces of God. And I see myself in each and every one of you. My heart is with you. Please know that I am standing with you during these very difficult times. I'm here as a resource. I certainly don't have all the answers, but perhaps I can inspire and facilitate some questions within to help us all grow, to help us continue become ever closer to a loving, caring community that we have. I love each and every one of you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much. I think we're going to make a shift, if that's okay, and move into meditation. Before I do that, actually, thanks for the reminder from within. I just had a reminder from within. Isn't that amazing how that works? I think I'd like to share our, if I can find it, I thought we had a affirmation for today. Maybe Adam has it there for us. I had one. I'm searching. Give me a moment. I need the weekly affirmation is I give thanks. I'll say it first and everyone can repeat it after me. They're simply 2 sentences and I find them very meaningful. I give thanks for all expressions of fatherly love. Everyone? And I bless all the fatherly and father figures in my life.